Carla, you strike me as a possibility thinker. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Yes. Can you tell me a little bit more about the role that possibility has played in who you are?
I would start here.
Okay.
I really like people. Like, I don't pretend to like people. Like,
Yeah.
I really like people. And the moment I say hello to someone, or when they say hello to me, possibility opens up. I don't know where the conversation is going,
Right.
right? But I'm all in.
Yeah. I imagine you bring openness and curiosity to that possibility thinking as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what inspires you to be all in?
I'm curious about people, but also I feel like I let my guard down because I really want to connect to people. And I feel like when I talk to people who are fans especially, they're the reasons I have a job.
It's such a beautiful perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also feel like they've gotten to know me on television, and in that moment of that conversation, this is an opportunity for them to get to know me a little bit, and I can get to know them as well in a real moment.
So part of what I'm hearing is the people that you meet, your fans, have made Carla Hall possible. And that everyone you meet is a new possibility of connection and learning and knowing and seeing where it goes, and also an opportunity to deepen your relationship with the people who made you possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. So when I get into a car service or taxi or an Uber or whatever, and the driver is from some other country, I love to talk to them about, one, where are you from? And two, what is a dish that you miss mostly from home?
What a beautiful question. Yeah.
But let me tell you what that does. They're like, oh wait, this is personal. Because everybody loves to talk about their favorite dishes and their foods and home.
Yeah.
So it goes from being a perfunctory, oh, how are you?
Yes.
To, no, really, how are you? What
Yes.
makes you tick? Like, you know, like share
We're
something
going deeper.
personal. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and I love that. I love watching the body language relax or jump into, like, okay, let me tell you.
Yes.
You know? And I don't know where that's going to go.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like you've shifted the paradigm a little bit because you've become a fan of theirs.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And who doesn't want to have some adoring fan, considering who could be in the back of a car service, to have somebody who's behaving like a fan is not a bad thing. So you're really giving them the gift of your attention and curiosity.
And they don't always know who I am, which is so, and that's really nice.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's a real conversation. So speaking of possibility, I'm literally recounting a situation where I was in a car and asking somebody where they're from and what do they like to eat, and I'm at a dinner party, and I'm talking about this, and we go back and forth. About a month later, one of the people at the dinner party says, "Oh, I spoke to a friend who, works at Fremantle, and I told him about what you said." He said, "Oh, I think that's a show."
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes you don't even realize what's possible
because
you're open. Right? And in a month's time, I went to LA. We shot a pilot. Like, I'm working with the team, and we sort of, flush it out. And then that was the start of my show, Chasing Flavor.
Your Emmy-nominated show.
My Emmy-nominated show.
If we're going to talk about it, we might as well be accurate.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And so that wasn't a possibility that you had imagined, but it just came from you being connected, curious, open, engaged, and loving people because of the possibilities that can come from really liking and loving people around you. Yeah. Carla, what was something that felt impossible to you?
Let's just stick with Chasing Flavor.
Okay.
Show. That conversation happened around a dinner table in 2019. And then we didn't film it until like 2021. It took a long time to get approvals, to work through the logistics with the network and just to sell it, just to sell it to a network. And then once we sold it, it's smack dab in the middle of the pandemic.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Oh.
And there were some places we wanted to go that we couldn't go.
Okay.
That would tell a story, but we couldn't go to those places.
So those were literally impossible.
Yeah.
Those were impossible.
They were impossible. Mm-hmm. And when you're traveling with people, it was like being in the Peace Corps. You feel like you're going through this thing together.
Yeah.
So you're not relying on your idea of possibility. You have other people to help buoy you up when you feel it's impossible, and then somebody else thinks it's possible. So there's this dance of, it's impossible, no, it's possible, it's impossible, no, it's possible.
Yes.
Right?
So you're borrowing somebody else's possibility thinking.
Yes.
Yeah, when you hit a hurdle or a road bump, you're like, I'm going to borrow yours for now to help me get over this.
Yes. I love that visual. Yes. And then 2 years after it was released, this year, or in 2025, it was nominated for an Emmy.
Yeah, it was.
I know, right?
Yeah, it
was.
was.
So I didn't even think about that as a possibility. I didn't even. So it's a cherry on top. It's a beautiful way for this chapter to sort of culminate in an appreciation for the work that we felt was really great. Sometimes possibility is a surprise.
Yes. And also part of what I'm hearing in there is, as you were talking about, there were countries we couldn't get into or we didn't get picked up for a second season. Maybe it's just not possible now.
Yes.
Or yet.
Yes.
Right? But keeping that hope alive keeps the door to possibility open. And what has that show made possible for you?
So all of these relationships that I have in different countries, people that were interviewed, that I cooked with, I still stay in contact with. And it is so incredible. I love getting these little notes and reminders of like, hey, just thinking about you. Hey, somebody saw the show and, we're still like living on this sort of roller coaster ride of doing this with you, and then I did it with them, and it was just incredible. And then also sharing it with Matthew. So Matthew came to some of the cities with me. It was one of my first trips to Ghana, and I had been wanting to go there forever because I have friends from there.
Oh, lovely.
And who would have thought that this little conversation that started in a car that was then at a dining table would take me to a friend's homeland across the world, right?
Well, when you say who would have thought, the answer that comes to my mind is somebody who's invested in possibility thinking.
That's it.
That's who would have thought.
Yeah. Because you don't need to know what's on the other side.
Yeah. And if you were talking to someone who is afraid to imagine possibilities, right? Maybe they've been burned, maybe many of the possibilities that they thought would happen haven't happened, and they're reluctant to use their possibility muscle, what would you say to them?
Start small. Try a new fruit. I mean, going to a market where there are fruits and vegetables from other countries where they will allow you to taste them and you have no idea what that experience is going to be. If you taste something that you love, that's where possibility starts.
Can I put in a plug for passion fruit? My favorite fruit in the whole world.
Yes.
And as somebody who is from New York, I never imagined it would be a possibility that I would be growing my own. And now that I live in the South, I got passion fruits growing out there.
Shut up.
What? Yep, I've got passion fruits growing out there. Who thought that was a possibility for a little girl from New York?
Okay, let me just tell you right now. I don't even know what the season is. I don't even know what the season for passion fruit. So
hot.
Hot.
Yes.
It makes sense.
So I'm going to put in a plug for if you're going to try a new fruit, try passion fruit, but any new fruit will do because imagine the possibilities. Yes. Thank you, Carla.